No,
make
but
this move? Yeah, you can make. Okay, I'm gonna make.
I think he
Like
has
what?
to run it through, which would be Keith Pelly, who would be the top of the food chain, and then
Yeah,
and
you
then
got to run it by somebody.
Exactly.
Someone's going to have to make a decision. It's not carte blanche. No GM has that power. Anyway, maybe our next guest has that type of power with the NHL and TNT and everywhere else he works. Here's our good friend Darren Pang. How you doing, Panger?
I have all the power in the world right now to step outside of this place that I'm in at the lake, go putt, and then go on the boat. That's about as much power as I have right now. But,
yes, that's a lot of power, man.
Listen, and nobody brought me any snacks either. Nobody.
Well, that's disappointing. Send it to the group chat because there's it's bedlam in my neck of the woods right now.
I want to be in the group chat. I mean, peanut butter and jam sandwiches, something like that. Anything?
Okay.
That wouldn't be good enough, Panger.
No, because
Karen's
you're not
not like
allowed
that.
peanut butter. You're not allowed
peanut butter's
butter.
not allowed.
Peanuts
Kids
are not
can't bring
allowed.
peanut butter. That's true.
It's got to be peanut free.
Allergies.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of considerations, Panger. We're living in a different world right now, and in Toronto, we're wondering how different it could look and feel a month and a half from now. Are you embracing change, or do you think there's a chance that we're not going to see as much change as maybe some people are expecting?
Has anybody changed their evaluation? Seeing the 7 games that they put forth against a really good hockey club. Change is inevitable when you don't win. Change. I think the Leafs and I think the Leafs fans and I think managers and even Shanny to that extent, they've all been very patient with the group that they've had, and they've all gave them everything they've needed to be successful. So the problem with change is that you're going to lose some good players and not get anything back from them. There's no assets, if you know what I mean. That's the tough part, saying goodbye to some players. But I've seen many teams go through the same thing where they have felt like, hey, that's our rental. We're going to take our chance with that player. Let's call him Mitch Marner or John Tavares, UFAs, and say we're going to go forward. This is what we're going to do. We're going to empty the tank. We're going to give it everything we've got, and they did. They just didn't play well in game 5s and 7 on home ice, and that's the real shame because otherwise it was a pretty darn good season. A brand new coach. I mean, by and large, a new coaching staff. I thought Chief did a great job, and I think they're starting to get what they have to do to beat these good teams like the Florida Panthers, and now it is inevitable. And now, if I'm not mistaken, guys, there's only 32 or 33 contracts that they have of the 50 that you can allow as a pro hockey team. So between the minors and the NHL, there's lots of room.
What would you do, Panger?
Lots of
room.
What
would you do?
What would I do? Well,
like what would you be like leaning towards like doing?
Oh boy, you've opened up a open commentary because
let's hear it. We've been getting everyone's opinion today.
Well, for me, the way that Chief coaches, and I'm not speaking for Chief, but a big move would be Willie Nylander, to be honest with you. I mean, I know I said that last time, and I said I think he's got to have a big game, and he did have a big game, and I think that might have been Game 6 when we talked. But I think there's a style of play that's not working, and I think the guys that get the heat all the time it's Marner. He gets the heat. Well, I think he plays a pretty determined two-way game. I don't see the same thing from Willie. I see a guy that can skate real well. I can see a guy that can make a play, gets open, gets opportunities, like the breakaway he had in a key moment of the game. But I mean, you want to blow things up. I mean, make a move that you can get one player out and get 2 players back. All the managers have done that over time. You're lacking some depth in that top 9. You might not have John Tavares. You won't have a Mitch Marner from the sounds of it. That's 2 pretty elite hockey players. You're talking about handing the keys over to Willie, and you've got Austin, and you've got Nyes. You better be careful about Nyes because there could be a team cherry picking out there. Who's to say a team doesn't offer him a boatload of money and say, you know what? In a smaller version, the Edmonton Oilers got burnt by St. Louis because they weren't proactive in 2 players. That happened. So who's to say a team's not going to do that? What happens if there's no Matthew Nyes, and there's no Mitch Marner, and there's no John Tavares, and there's only Austin Matthews and Willie Nylander? I mean, those are ifs. Those are big ifs, but they're also probable ifs as well. So I think the time is now if you're going to make moves, you've got to make the same kind of moves that I thought years ago Doug Armstrong did a really good job of, and that is he got a Ryan O'Reilly as a 27-year-old. Yeah, he gave up a guy Tage Thompson that ended up being a really good player. He was a late draft pick. He gave up a little bit in the first round pick, and he got Braden Shen. How good is that thing? I mean, that's a 26-year-old heavy player. So maybe this is the time that Brad Treliving knocks on a lot of doors and sees what he can get for a 1 for a 2 or 1 for a 3, and make a wholesale change that inevitably leads to this being his hockey club and not anybody else's. And this is the opportunity right now to make that move. And you've already signed a coach to a long-term deal. He's proven to be a terrific coach. He's proven to be a guy that loves Toronto. And I think that you've got to work with him to find out the kind of players that are going to work with him and continue to advance this team the way they did this year. Because I thought they had a heck of a year, to be quite honest with you.
They had a really good regular season. They did. I mean, they won their division, which is something that they hadn't done in 25 years. It's like it's been that long.
It's a long
won
time.
The first round. A long time. Played well against Ottawa. And, the issue, of course, is the end of the series against Florida. And yet, you look at the Panthers, Panger, and the term dynasty gets thrown out, and I feel like it's been modified a little bit over time because
not too often it gets tossed out.
No, not too often, but like a true dynasty, like you look at the Islanders in the early 90s, or early 80s, like that's a dynasty. That's 4 straight cup wins, and you go to a 5th one. The Oilers win in, I think, 4 times in 5 years. You look at the Steelers back in the day, the Habs back in the day.
Would the minor day dynasty be the Blackhawks then of 10?
Yeah, exactly.
13,
I think so.
I
think so.
That's got to be the standard in which a team tries to get to at this particular point. Anyway, Pittsburgh for a little bit of time with 2 in a row, but not enough to get the 3rd one. Yeah.
And I'm curious what you think of Florida's chances of having that conversation not only over the next month and a half, but years beyond this. Like, could we look back in the year 2030, let's say, and look at them and say, man, they picked off like 4 Stanley Cups and went to 5 of them. Is that possible with this group?
That's very possible with this group. I mean, very possible. Now, keeping Sam Bennett is a big part of that equation. Not sure where Aaron Ekblad's going to be, but they also back that up by getting Seth Jones, who's proven to be a really good performer under pressure. Seth Jones, he knows how to play the game when he's under pressure, and he can skate out of traffic and what have you. Funny thing about Seth, we had him on TNT prior to game 1, and he said the first thing that the coaches said to him was, get rid of the rocking chair, Seth. Start skating again. Get going. Yeah. We want our D to get going. But I mean, looking at that, so if they lose Ekblad, if they lose Sam Bennett, I think there's still a whole lot of pieces right there that they could continue on. But the hardness and the way that Sam Bennett plays, to me, that's the engine for them. So that would be real tough if they did lose him.